What's up, peace and love, fam? This is my squirter, and I basically want to talk about why I made the commitment to fitness. To be fit for life, opposed to be fit for a season. It's unfortunate that the reason is that I had to experience a loss before I experienced a gain in my health. Back in 2006, I had a pregnancy that lasted about 25 weeks. Went to all my prenatal appointments. Did what I was told was healthy. Eating mostly chicken, fish, turkey. No saturated fats. Not too much cholesterol. No organ meats. A lot of whole wheats. Whole wheat bread. Whole wheat pasta. Brown rice. And I lost my child. Yeah, 25 weeks, went to the bathroom, and I was bleeding. So I had to go to emergency room, went to Kings County, and, it was, looking back, of course, knowing, it really hurt really bad, because knowing that, I really, really wanted a pregnancy. And the problem is society makes pregnancy and motherhood seem so glamorous that you don't have to do anything else. You just, get pregnant, eat, have a baby, and then that's it. And then, if you have problems breastfeeding, hey, we got some formula for you. No, that's not that's not the natural order. Women, we don't focus enough on strengthening our body. See, I didn't get in shape, to look good or anything, or to want to get into a toothpiece, because I could have a big gut and put on a toothpiece, and there's some fool that's going to still try to holler at me. So looking good is not enough, because no matter how you look, you could go outside with one of them Jiffy Pop satin caps on your head, and there's still going to be a dude that's going to try to holler at you. May not be a good dude, but hey, if that's what you want, you're trying to attract the opposite sex. Just giving an example. So it took me to really experience that emotional pain to really push myself. It wasn't that, I wanted to, get fit, because, man, I'm not no athlete or anything, who cares? But when they couldn't really tell me what happened, it's like they told me I had an incompetent cervix, which could have very well been part of the problem, but it wasn't the root of the problem. You see, I had moved to Montgomery, Alabama, and had another pregnancy, but this one didn't last past 8 weeks, 5 or 8 weeks. The baby, my body was breaking down the baby already, so they had to basically give me an abortion to take that pregnancy out. So now we're sort of getting close to the root of the problem. My GYN told me I have fibroid tumors. So I'm like, okay, am I going to be able to have children? Is this going to prevent me from having children? We don't know right now. That's what she said. But what we can do, and the good thing is that I had Medicaid, because Medicaid will not pay for what she suggested, which is a myomectomy. They'll pay for hysterectomies, but not myomectomies. Myomectomy is basically when they cut off the tumors from the uterine walls, and that procedure is about $10,000. And so I'm like, okay, well, I don't have $10,000, and I know that and then after doing the myomectomy, you specifically have to have a cesarean section after that. I wasn't that, and all those points I was hearing, I was not feeling that. I'm not feeling having a cesarean. I'm really not feeling for you to cut off anything, especially if it's going to grow back. So let's get to the root of the problem. So what's the root of the problem? Years later, knowing then what I know now, I went and been eating whole wheat and stuff. I did have a problem with sugar though, not around that time, but probably previously, eating a lot of, cereals, eating pasteurized dairy. Pasteurized milk was filled with so many hormones, because with WIC, they give you all that milk, they give you all that cheese and everything, and it's like in your mind it's like, oh, I gotta eat this. They give it to me, so I'm supposed to eat this. This was required for my body. My body needs this to have a healthy pregnancy. And all that is like starting to make sense to me now. Like, wow, that you know, even though I wasn't eating like grass-fed meats at the time, but that definitely makes sense, you know, with the wheat now saying wheat causes fibroid tumors, sugar causes fibroid tumors. So I looked to holistic methods. I didn't do the go to vegan route. I mean, if it works for you, great. It wasn't realistic for me. So I just focused on, you know, getting different herbs, red raspberry tea, dandelion root tea, making smoothies with flaxseed, berries, and everything to rid my body of those excess hormones and everything. But I was focusing on making my body strong so that I can be able to have a strong back, to be able to have a strong core, to be able to have strong legs and everything. And lo and behold, even though my next pregnancy wasn't planned, now my son now, you know, he's healthy and everything. And I worked up until the day I went into labor. Gave birth. Didn't even know I was in labor when I was in labor. I gave birth to him by myself with no assistance from anybody. When my gynecologist that was supposed to take care of me saw me, she just was looking at me in so much awe and everything, like, wow, you delivered your child by yourself. And my labor was quick. My delivery was quick. I didn't go through like 24 or 36 hours of labor like what women do now, because when they another thing that they have recommended was they said I had an incompetent cervix. They recommended sewing it up at like 14 or 15 weeks. No, because then after that I have to be bedridden, and who wants to be bedridden? So now I really got to be careful. So that will really prolong labor, and also suggest having a cesarean section. I wasn't feeling that either. You're not cutting me open. We doing this how we're supposed to do this. If my vagina was made to expand, that's what's going to happen. If the baby was, then if the natural order is for the baby's head to go out the uterus, down through the cervix, into the birth canal, out through the hole, that's what's going to happen. No cesarean. And breastfeeding afterwards too. And so it took that loss for me to really push myself to gain health. It wasn't easy. It was a why that really hurt me. It made me cry. And but it was well worth it. It took for me, now it takes my experience to be able to share with others. Focus on your strength training, lift your weights, jump your rope, release the tension out your womb, deal with traumas that you had in your past, strengthen your cervix, strengthen your walls, strengthen your core, strengthen this. Because if this is not strong, nothing else is going to be strong in your body. And if you're having issues becoming pregnant, if you have hormone imbalances, you seriously need to adopt a strength training program, because exercise will help take care of a big bulk of that. Eating the right nutritious foods will take a big bulk of that. And just so happens whole wheat is not one of those nutritious foods. I couldn't even get out of like the 175 180 range when I was eating wheat. I was fit, you know, but my body wasn't tight because I wasn't eating saturated fats. I wasn't eating cholesterol, you know, the right amount of cholesterol and everything. I was flabby, but still had a decent shape, but I didn't want to be flabby. It just so happens then I had a hormone imbalance that caused me to get fibroids. Now I can do push-ups, I can squat with weights, I can push 400 up to 400 pounds on leg press. And I said all that to say, before you even decide to have children, You need to focus on strengthening your body first. And not only strengthening your body, but make sure